Good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson here. Excited to be here today. I'm a little worn out today. I'm not going to lie. It's a Monday here, obviously. I'm back from spending 5 days in Atlanta with a bunch of my financial friends. I'm really excited about what I took away from the event. So I wanted to share with you guys this morning some of the things I learned at FinCon. And I always like to attend an event where I'm not the smartest person in the room. Okay. I'm very particular with about my time and my travel. I mean, I've traveled all across the globe speaking at conferences and real estate groups and clubs and big conferences, the National Association of Realtors Conference, REI expos, think realty events, noteworthy, distressed mortgage expo, and done all sorts of amazing things. And don't get me wrong, it's been fun. But after a while, when you're honestly the guy that's marketing the most and doing the most, and I can confidently say that we market better than really anybody else in the note industry, definitely better than anybody else in the note industry. I get to be particular with my time and where I want to go. If I'm going to go take time away from my schedule and my house and my comfortable bed and my good food, I'm going to want to make sure that I get my bang for my buck. And I don't mind paying for stuff and attending things, but I want to make sure it's worth my time. And I recently went to Boston, spent a couple of days with Chris Prefontaine and the crypt there for smart real estate coach. That was worth my time. But the thing for the last 3 years, I have been extremely excited about FinCon. If you've never heard of FinCon, it's the business event for money creators. It's where they say where money and marketing meet. And we're all in the marketing space. Every one of us is in the marketing space, whether you believe it or not. We're all in sales. And honestly, this event has probably had more impact on my business than anything else, excluding when I used to attend the big traffic and conversion summits out in San Diego, North America's largest marketing conference. That was the first thing. This is when it's really focused more on the finance side and not just podcasting and stuff like that. So if you're listening to this, don't just shoot it down because I'm talking about FinCon. Yes, we did an episode earlier about a week or two ago talking about why we're excited about the event. I highly recommend you go back and listen to it because there's a very few events that really do cater 100% to the attendees. I've been to some podcasting events. It's all about big names and big companies, and there's not many people there in the room. And that's not good for the people attending. It's also not good for the people that are paying to be there, the vendors and stuff like that. This event is a little bit smaller event compared to like Podcast Move It, a Traffic and Conversion Summit. But it honestly, the people is what makes this event really the best. And Steph joked with me beforehand that I haven't been excited about some things, like I was going to Atlanta. And it just is that because when you're around your people, you're around people that speak the same language, who understand the investment, the day in, day out investment that we as creators put into our message, our videos, our podcast, our audience, our newsletters to help serve our audience. It's refreshing because you can learn something from literally everybody in that room, just about everybody. Now, people showing up that don't know what they're doing, there's a few of those, and hey, those are your opportunity to kind of connect. And made plenty of connections this week with people that are growing their audience and doing things, but just really jacked up about it. So before I ramble on here and I lose you guys, I want to share some of the biggest lessons learned that are going to have impact on you. Yes, this event has an impact for you guys. A couple of things that we'll talk about, some of the things we're going to be doing are definitely going to impact you guys in a good way. Maybe a bad way. I don't think it's a bad way, but for most of the part, it's going to be a very good thing for you. So 2,500 plus finance creators there. It's a combination of financial independence and real estate professionals, financial advisors, real estate folks, investors, there's any sort of stock, bonds, all that kind of stuff, all sorts of experts on that, debt reduction, student loan stuff, investing professionals like financial advisors, insurance, debt, all that good stuff. There was, obviously there was LLC attorneys there. There was some fintech professionals on apps and things like that. There's a new IRA company there that I recommend they attended, which is really great. Got a chance to spend some time with them. But obviously there's a bunch of podcasters in the finance space, bloggers, YouTube, social media, TikTok, all that good stuff. People that have a ton of newsletters. They have a big chunk of authors there. I walked away with some new books, obviously, to take down. and a lot of social media experts that can add value to what we're doing. And that's one of the great things they did. They had some panels, they had some great sessions. The sessions weren't too long, 45 minutes, but it really forced on networking, especially on day two. You spend most of the day in small roundtables at different sessions throughout that are dedicated to, if you're a podcaster, or if you've got a class, or if you're in the FIRE movement, or if you've got a newsletter, or if you're a student loan or a real estate investor. There's different groups. Now, there's a couple things they could have done better. Like the real estate networking event was in the lobby, really hard to hear. They could have done it in a room that they weren't using. I think that's the only drawback that I have from the event. Just hard to hear in the lobby when everything echoes and you got close to 100 people there trying to talk. It just doesn't make sense. And you get the bar happy hour going on right next to you too. But anyway, that's my only drawback to the event. But the great thing is, with the app that they have, I started making connections almost immediately the month out from the event through their app. I was able to identify podcasters and real estate experts, or people that identify with real estate, that I can start making connections. And I'm really checked. The last few episodes have been people like Chuck Jaffe. I was on his podcast last year, one of the top finance podcasts. We had Rocky Lavani on to talk about profit first and overcoming issues. And we've got several podcasters lined up this week and next week, really probably throughout the end of the year. Not only will you have me going through and doing our normal stuff, but you will see we're bringing on a few folks to add value to you guys, because I know that you guys are doing other things besides just notes, talking about your finances, accounting, retirement, different goals like that for you guys to really take advantage of. Now, just so you guys know, highly recommend it. I'm already signed up for next year. You can actually attend next year, and it's going to be in Portland, Oregon, which kind of screams that we'll be doing something alongside of probably Laughlin and Associates, because they're up that neck of the woods, or Aaron Young is. They're out of Reno, Nevada. But anyway, their next FinCon 2025 is September 10th, 11th, and 12th in Portland, Oregon. And it's only $199 per person. That's actually cheaper than when I paid for the event last year when I signed up. They really dropped the price. Actually, since I was there at the event, I had even more early bird price than $99. So it's still cheap, $199 right now, finconexpo.com. Highly, if you're listening to this and you're in the investing space, this is an event that I think everybody should go to, especially if you're marketing yourself, you're marketing for deals or raising capital. There's just some great tools to help you really take your business to the next level. So finconexpo.com, that's my sales pitch for that. I do not get paid. I'm just very passionate about this event because I think it adds value in such a huge fashion for anybody who's starting to market themselves on LinkedIn or short videos or is looking to attract money. You can really walk away like you're drinking from a fire hydrant. I always walk away like, wow, I was literally so worn out. Not just not sleeping good, but worn out from like talking and learning. And I got, 20 pages of notes that I've been working through the last couple of days with my aha nuggets to implement. So what did I walk away with? Well, I walked away with obviously some new friends, lots of networking and new friends, people that I hadn't met before. Obviously a chunk of existing friends, and I got a chance to network with them a little bit more, plan some more things out for the rest of this year and into next year. I'm really, really excited about some of that stuff. Obviously some new vendors, new affiliates that will be marketing or want to sponsor some of the things that we do that add value to you guys. So I'm really excited about that as we work through that. Some new strategies, honestly, some new strategies. Anytime you come up with an idea or two, it's good that you're doing that, implement it, but you always got to stay ahead of the curve. And when I find most real estate investors or educators or the guru, they're not very up to date on marketing strategies. They're kind of behind the eight ball, and the less is more for them. And it actually isn't more for them. It's actually, I think they do their community, their clients a disservice by not sharing more and strategies or case studies or deal flow. And that's those are the three biggest things that you guys worry about. So we'll talk about that over the next few weeks, some new strategies to help you find deals, to help you raise capital, and help you close more deals in a variety of fashion. There's some new tools to help me grow. I'm really excited about some of the AI stuff that I learned this past weekend. A couple tweaks to LinkedIn, a couple tweaks to our newsletter, a couple tweaks to things to make it more impactful and better quality, but also to add more value to what you do. So that's what I walk away from. Not only did I expand my network exponentially in a good way, especially compared to last year. Last year I did great. I think I doubled this year. I'm kind of an extrovert. So when I go sit down at a round table, I'm immediately going to ask people, hey, what do you do? Where are you from? You know, I'm a form tackle them. Where are you from? What do you do? What did you do for fun? And then your message. I'm a walking billboard for the form method. But I made so many friends, not only here in the United States, but in Canada, some folks in Mexico, all age groups and all niches that I think are really going to add value to all of you guys too for you. So that's the thing I get most excited about, is really recharging my batteries for new people that add value in a lot of things. Okay. And it was, like I said, it was great connecting with Clifton Corbin. He's the guy that wrote The Richest Person in Babylon. We've had him on before. My buddy DJ Aloho from the Foreclosure Fix out of Atlanta. He's a note investor and real estate investor. We've done swaps, and so it was good catching up with him, and just a bunch of new people. Okay. Now the biggest impact, okay, things I walked out of there the last day when I wrapped up Saturday night. I sat down there while I was watching Texas beat Vanderbilt in my hotel room. I avoided the last final happy hour because I was like, I just was physically worn out. But literally putting there when I was watching some college football there Saturday night, we will be updating some things. We'll be updating some things to the WC and Crew membership for you guys. We may be moving it off of Basecamp into Slack, trying to get something where you guys can communicate a little bit. We'll be adding some more stuff to it, a little bit more communication, some other tools for you. We'll be going back to hosting two live workshops, in-person workshops next year. Okay. First one is going to be after Valentine's Day, because we don't do it before that, because you never know what the weather's going to be like. So we'll be doing that. That's the first one, is sometime late February. Okay. Excited about that. And then the next one will be 6 months out after that. So probably in August or September, this kind of things. We'll still host 2 virtual workshops, but we're going to go to a live and then a virtual and then a live and then a virtual. I just don't think I've got the energy for me to do 4 in-person workshops. It takes a lot of me, but that's okay. I know that people really like our virtual workshops because we do deliver a lot of stuff. So it's a good opportunity for you to connect with people and then come and connect with people. We'll be increasing your community connections. We're going to be, some of the things we'll be updating, like with Slack or Basecamp or some of the other things, especially with the Facebook group. We'll be tweaking some of that stuff to help increase your community connections for you, for those that want to, obviously. Adding more value to our students. We're going to be actually highlighting some sources for you guys, highlighting some strategies that I think will make a big impact on little things for you guys. I think we already do a pretty good job at that, but adding some more value to our students is one of the biggest things in our newsletter or case studies, or highlighting what you guys are doing and who you are and what you're a note investor for. I think that's one of the big things I want to get more of, is your stories. Why are you doing this, and what's your kind of journey? Okay. And then, of course, we will be bringing back Note Camp. Note Camp's our 3-4 day online summit. We will not be doing that in person. We will be doing that online with 30 to 40 speakers over a 4-day period to help you guys really dive into. I know a lot of you guys have enjoyed that, or watched that, or listened to that as the podcast, or watch the replays on that, especially when we dive into more of the commercial stuff. But we'll be doing that the first of the year, actually. And then, of course, at some point, probably around the midst of the year, we'll probably be doing our Note Mastermind here in Austin as well. So I haven't done that. We didn't do that this year, but we will be bringing that back, and looking forward to that. So that's the biggest impact on my thing, as far as what I took away from that to help impact you guys. More and more of you guys have been asking if we've had a live workshop. You guys want to come network. You want to come learn from other note investors. You want to come network with me, hang with me for a couple of days. I will be doing that twice a year, or maybe 3 times next year with the mastermind. One of the great things that I found out, though, that when I talked about our coaching program, a lot of people really, especially in the niche note investing space, they really liked what we do with that, as far as laying out the 8 to 10 weeks of coaching calls, the 2-day in person, and the amount of tools that we give you to implement, with the list of asset managers, the list of sources, the ability to come spend a couple of days with me, and really helping to strive to help you close a deal in the first 60 to 90 days. That was one of the big things in some of the roundtables that people gave me feedback. They thought that was pretty freaking cool. The business in a box, as we've called it. So looking forward to doing more of that. Things we get right. And this is another stuff that when I walk out of it, I'm like, okay, are we doing things wrong, or are we doing things right? What can I learn? And when you have 915 plus episodes on a podcast or a couple of podcasts, you're doing things right. You're sticking with it. You're in the 1% of 1% of podcasters out there. That was pretty good. There's a few tweaks we'll make to the podcast, but it's not going to change that much. We're just going to tweak it to make it better, not make it worse. Another thing that we're getting right is our daily short videos. People were amazed that we were doing 1-minute videos just about 6 to 7 days a week on different topics. And I like the fact that our process for doing that is pretty streamlined. It doesn't take a lot of work. It doesn't take any really delegation. It's something that I do on my part just about every day. And we were able to get them done while I was out of town, obviously. We featured a couple of the books, a couple of the sessions. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Views weren't the greatest on those, but we still delivered some great content, and it actually led to a couple of great things. And that's one of the most important things. You don't need to have a huge 100,000 view video, or you don't need to go viral on most of your stuff. If you have 1 or 2 people that see your things that are the right people to see it, it can make a huge impact, and that's what we're very proud of. Our LinkedIn newsletter, we like what we've been doing. We're going to tweak some things to that, and adding some stuff, but I found it very valuable that in the LinkedIn session, the guy speaking in the LinkedIn session doesn't use the LinkedIn newsletter feature. He uses his own newsletter. That's fine. But when I asked him about the newsletters, well, I haven't used it. And I asked 2 friends 2 years ago about it, or a year ago about it, and they didn't do it. Well, that's not 2 data points is not effective. And several of my friends that were in that same session came out and said, okay, that wasn't an effective answer, but so it means that they're not trying it, but we are, and we're seeing impact. Whenever you have, 46, just south of 4,700 subscribers on the newsletter, and everybody gets an email alert when they get that, it shows up in their news feed. It's a really great feature that most people are not implementing. And if you start implementing that, I highly recommend it, because it's a great way to actually get in front of people that you're connected with on LinkedIn. They may not have their email address. And then, of course, one of the most impactful things is our why. Now, I was thinking about that. They had a session talking about why are you doing things. It was actually somebody from Ramsey Education, Dave Ramsey, even though I think Dave Ramsey is an angry old man now, and some of his strategies don't work for the most part. It's not bad foundation, but one of the guys he has on there had a book coming out. He got there that it's important to brace the suck, but also think about your why on a regular basis. Why are people doing what they do? Why are they getting into notes? Why are they getting investing? Why are they doing a side hustle? Why are they trying to do that? For me, I thought back to when I first started educating, how lucky I was to have God bail me out of a bad situation, avoid losing my primary house back in 2002, 2003, 2003. And then the opportunity that was presented to me to travel the country for 4 years, from 2004 to 2008, with Ariel Capital and Bob Leonetti and Jamie Kalen and Ron LeGrain and all the amazing people that I met during that 4-year process to lead me into becoming the note guy and to start marketing and get me where I'm at. If I'd never left the banking side of Chase, I just sat there making my 6 figures a year, I wouldn't nearly be where I'm at. And the amazing thing I want to share with you guys is I go on Fridays, usually I go to a stretch lab here. Maybe I've talked about it, maybe I haven't, but it's one of the things that I enjoy doing for my health. I got a pinched nerve in my shoulder here, and we're working out so I have full range motion again. You get older, you got to take better care of yourself, okay? So I go do that, and I saw a buddy of mine that I hadn't seen in over 10 years. He was a guy that was a banker with me at Chase. He's a little bit older. And Tommy is a absolutely nice guy. And I saw him sitting there getting stretched out at the same line. I hadn't seen him in a while. We're connected on LinkedIn. Every once in a while, I'll say, hey, it pops up. He moves from bank to bank and stuff like that. And it was interesting talking with him after he got off the bench before I had to go get stretched out myself with my lady that takes care of me. When we were visiting, and you could just sense he asked me, when people ask you questions about things, you can always tell when they're a little reflective. He's still being a banker. He's still working 5-6 days a week. He's making he's happy with his income. That's completely fine. It's all that matters. But he's still that corporate mindset, that corporate kind of, I don't want to say dream, because I don't really think it's a dream. I think they try to paint a dream for you, but he's all, thinking about retiring in a couple of years. He talked about it, and he's like, I asked him what he was going to do. He's like, I don't have a clue. And so when you see a flashback, if I had never left Chase, I would probably be where Tommy's at. I'd probably be a banker, president of a bank, or another vice president, which really doesn't mean a lot, of a different bank or doing other things. Or still be at maybe I did launch a mortgage company. I don't know. I don't think I would have, though. Because I think a lot of people buy into that. I'll work at a good company because they got great benefits and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that makes you happy, that makes you happy. But when I struck out on my own in 2008, and I said, God, thank you for giving me this 4 years to learn all this stuff. And even when I went on my own, it was not the greatest time. Obviously, the sky was falling, right? Things were chaotic in the real estate markets. I lost my ass in a couple of deals, but I'm happy where I'm at today. I'm happy with the person I am. I'm very proud of the people around me. I would probably never met Steph if I'd stayed in that position. I'm very happy with her. Yep, exactly. She's down there saying, yep, you better say that, asshole. But the thing is, I'm very blessed. I am very happy. Can things be better? Things can always be a little bit better, tweak some things, but there's not too much I would change. I wouldn't change making that leap. I wouldn't change the mistakes I've made along the way, because that's made me a better educator, a better person, and a better investor, and definitely a better coach to people to help you avoid things. So that was always my why. If God helped me get out of a bad situation, I promised to help as many people as I could to do the same thing. And that's really my why, is to help you guys achieve financial success. And if it's financial independence or retire early, whatever that FIRE movement is, I guess you can say I'm a part of it. But I want you guys to achieve success. Success does not come free. You've got to invest some time, invest some money, and invest in, as the guy from it said, you got to learn to embrace the suck a little bit. It's going to suck at first, but anything new gets better over time, and you get better the more you put into it. Too many people give up, and we as investors need to really lead the way to help make things great again here in a lot of ways. I don't care who you're going to vote. It doesn't matter who wins the election, because you're going to have to wake up the next day and still go to work. You're still going to have to wake up the next day to go to work and put things in place. Kamala's not going to save you. Donald's not going to save you. You've got to help yourself. And the Lord helps those that help themselves. So I want you guys to understand this is a great event. Always walk away from this event. Till 3.5 times I've gone, just absolutely blown away. I should have been attending it long before, but it's really is an impactful event. And I promise that if you go to the event, you'll enjoy it as well there for you. So and whenever you attend an event, part of the attending is to make sure you have a plan. And this is one mistake. Maybe this is the educational side of this episode, is I always see students that attend events that they don't have a plan of action. And I only say this because I've attended plenty of events and I had a plan of action. It was a waste of time, right? Waste of time, waste of money, waste of time away from your family. It costs more than just a ticket. When you look at the airport or the travel or the hotels or the expensive food, there's a lot more that goes into attending an event. And you have to make sure it's a impactful event and that you have a plan of action. So make sure you have a plan. You want to make sure you connect with as many people as possible. If you're an introvert, I know that's hard, but guess what? An app helps in a lot of cases. I'll be spending most of my time today, tomorrow, my free time, working through the app. Now, what's sad is most people at the event did not have business cards. I just don't get that. Yeah, they had, well, connect with me here. I'm like, well, connecting on social media is great, but if I want to follow up with you personally, that makes it more difficult to do, right? So the great thing, already been doing that as far as following up with people from the app, getting conversations booked, getting things done. You have to do the same thing too. If nobody else has business cards, guess what? You take business cards and you get people's name and information. You put them into an Excel spreadsheet. And that's one thing that everybody should do. That was the first thing we would do when we wrapped up an event, was taking everybody's business card and contact information and putting in an Excel spreadsheet that we could email out to and follow up with people. And the folks that I've connected with, when I have that list final, that's one of the first things to do. Hey, it was great meeting at FinCon. Love to connect with you more. If we haven't connected on social, here's this. Here's my call if you want to jump on a call and book. And here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm doing. Love to talk with you about networking or maybe doing a podcast swap, or if you've got a book coming out, we'd love to help promote it in a variety of fashions. But you've got to learn to follow up with people. I've had too many students that go to events, they get a bunch of business cards, and then they never follow up with those people. They never put those people into their database, or they never connect with them so that they can follow up with them again at another time. That's part of why I think the LinkedIn newsletter is just valuable. If you connect with people on LinkedIn that you meet, especially a business event like that, hopefully they'll start seeing your newsletter and can follow up with you as well. So most people, they think the event is over when they leave. For me, it's a week to 2 weeks after the event until that event is, that's where I look at it. I look at a 2 week, what am I doing the next 2 weeks after this event to make sure that I make the most of the event, the most of my time away and my true investment. And then my cost per lead goes way down because I have a much more leads and effective plan of marketing. And you can do the same thing, whether you're out of your local RIA club or your networking event. I saw Dale post a question in our Basecamp group about a networking event. We'll discuss that probably in a different episode. I'll respond to it first. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is you are a walking billboard for your business. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to network, and go find you an event that's effective for you. Not every event is effective. This event, FinCon, is one of the better ones to go to. So here's your opportunity to join. The great thing about it too is, guys, they do have a couple groups that are pretty active. The FinCon YouTubers, the FinCon podcasters group, and the app is just amazing to connect with. So I don't think I've got anything else. No. That's my big takeaways, is that we're working to enhance a few things. We're bringing back live classes. I had a great conversation with my buddy Dustin Heiner out of St. Louis, and then Liz Faircloth, maybe you know her from the Investor community out of New Jersey. I got a chance to spend some time with her as well. We've been friends for 4 or 5 years. Actually, Dustin and I have been friends since last FinCon, but Elizabeth and I have been friends for over 5 years, and a few others. So stay tuned for some great updates. Stay tuned for some cool new things. You may see some changes taking place. I think they're for the better. And as always, I'd like to hear from you guys. You guys that are listening or watching this, if there's something that we can do better or something you'd like for us to feature a little more or highlight, please do so. We're always open to taking recommendations. And if I can answer a question or answer something that's a issue with you with your business or something, you're probably not the only person struggling with something. So always feel free to book a call at talkwithscottcarson.com. That's talkwithscottcarson.com. And glad to talk with you. Let you pick my brain and help you overcome any hurdles you might have and take your business to the next level. All right. And like I said, if you're a student of ours, I'd love to hear about you, about your journey. I think more people would like to hear what you're doing, what your why is, and what you're working towards the future, and why you're a note investor, or why you're a real estate investor. What are those big whys, and what are you working towards? So go out, take some action. Hopefully this was a valuable episode for you guys. FinConExpo.com. I don't get paid a dime, but it's worth you going to it. And make sure you get signed up. If you're not taking one of our free one-day classes, get signed up at noteweekend.com. It's about a 3.5-hour class on how to find, fund, and flip. It's our basic class to help you take your note business to the next level. So take care, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you at the top.